Did Kyle Richards leave the RHOBH reunion in tears? Kyle Richards must have felt the heat during her 14th time on stage with host Andy Cohen. The OG and her castmates gathered to film the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion on February 28, and as usual, there were many tears. A recent report claimed Kyle turned on the waterworks when her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, became a topic of conversation. Sources also claim that Kyle stormed off the reunion stage twice while filming the big event. However, she wasn't the only one with drama, which shouldn't surprise anyone. Things reportedly got heated between Garcelle Beauvais and newbie Bozoma St. John. That's something we didn't see coming. The duo had a minor misunderstanding in a previous episode, but aside from that, they've been getting along all season. Kyle Richards reportedly walked off the RHOBH reunion stage. Ulk magazine shared information from their sources about what went down when the RHOBH cast gathered to film the season 14 reunion. Interestingly, the insider claimed the event was kind of boring overall, but there was some drama in the mix. Kyle Richards walked off the reunion set twice, the source revealed. She was crying half the time. The reason for Kyle's tears was a conversation about Mauricio Umansky, with her castmates claiming he has been seeing other women for quite some time. They said Kyle was lying for years and knew for years, but kept the lie going for the show, said the insider. Mauricio was also a hot topic in the latest RHOBH episode when he was caught in paparazzi photos kissing a mystery woman during his trip to Spain. Did things get heated between Garcelle Beauvais and Bozoma St. John? Another teaser for the RHOBH reunion is that things erupted between Garcelle and Bozoma. The duo had a tense moment in a previous episode when Garcelle called out the newbie for constantly defending Dorit Kemsley. Dorit and Bozoma have become fast friends since she joined the show, and the other women are having difficulties understanding their close bond. Bozoma has pointed out Garcelle's hypocrisy given her constant defense of her bestie Sutton Stracke. That was likely the source of the contention between Garcelle and Bozoma at the reunion. The insider didn't provide specifics, just that Garcelle and Boz were against one another. Stay tuned for more updates on the situation. The air inside the reunion stage was thick with tension, an almost suffocating mix of anticipation and long-held resentment. Andy Cohen, ever the ringmaster of Bravo's most volatile circus, shifted in his seat as he glanced at the next cue card in his hand. The question that could break the fragile truce between the women was coming. Kyle Richards sat in the center of the curved velvet sofa, her body language a careful performance of composure. But those who knew her best, the fans, her fellow housewives, and even Andy himself, could see the telltale signs. The subtle lip press, the clenched fingers in her lap, the way her eyes flicked across the room to gauge her allies and adversaries. This wasn't her first reunion, far from it, but something felt different this time. Lisa Rinna was gone, so was Lisa Vanderpump. The old battles, the relentless accusations of playing puppet master, had faded into the background like ghosts of reunions past. Yet here Kyle was, bracing for impact. Sutton Stracke sat stiffly to her right, arms crossed and lips pursed, looking every bit the Southern belle preparing to deliver a razor-sharp truth wrapped in honey. To Kyle's left, Erika Jayne adjusted the train of her dress with a dramatic flick, her expression unreadable beneath layers of glam. And Garcelle Beauvais, always composed but never afraid to cut deep, watched Kyle with a mix of curiosity and something else. Pity, perhaps? Andy exhaled and read the question. Kyle, there's been a lot of speculation about your marriage this season. The fans have seen the cracks, the rumors have been relentless, and let's be honest, the tattoo thing really set people off. So let's clear the air. Where do you and Mauricio stand? The room went silent. Kyle swallowed. A flicker of something raw passed across her face before she smoothed it over with a practiced smile. She had been dreading this moment. For months, she had walked the tightrope between public denial and private devastation. My marriage has always been a huge part of my life, she started, her voice measured. And obviously, this season has been difficult. There are things that have been exaggerated, and there are things that are true, but at the end of the day, Mauricio and I love each other. A beat. But, Andy pressed, sensing the unfinished thought. Kyle hesitated. Erica shifted, her eyes gleaming with the promise of drama. Sutton raised a skeptical eyebrow. Dorrit Kemsley, who had remained relatively quiet thus far, placed a delicate hand on Kyle's knee, a rare show of support. "Kyle, we're your friends," Garcelle said, her tone softer than usual. "You don't have to spin this for us. If you're hurting, say it." That was the moment the walls cracked. Kyle's lips quivered as she let out a breath she didn't realize she had been holding. She paused, looking down at her hands. "I don't know what's happening to my marriage." It was the closest she had come to admitting the truth. A murmur passed through the room. Andy leaned forward, concern etching lines into his usually unreadable face. "Are you saying you and Mauricio are separated?" Kyle let out a soft, bitter laugh. "We're figuring things out." But it was too late. The dam had broken, and the emotion she had fought so hard to keep at bay came rushing in. Her shoulders trembled. She blinked rapidly, trying to keep the tears from falling, but they betrayed her, slipping down her cheeks like tiny confessions. "Damn," Erica muttered under her breath. Sutton, never one to let an opportunity pass, tilted her head. "So the Morgan Wade rumors. Are we going to talk about that, or?" Kyle's head snapped up, a mixture of shock and exhaustion flashing in her eyes. "I'm not having an affair," she said, her voice stronger now, but the damage was done. "Maybe not," Garcelle said carefully, "but the way you've been defending her, it's intense, Kyle." Kyle's breath hitched. "She's my friend." "Friends don't get matching tattoos," Sutton quipped. Kyle shot her a look. "You don't get to tell me what my friendships look like." Andy cleared his throat, sensing the conversation veering into dangerous waters. "Okay, let's refocus. Kyle, do you think there's hope for you and Mauricio?" That was the question that shattered her. Her face crumpled, and before she could stop herself, the sob escaped. She covered her mouth, shaking her head as the tears came freely now. "I don't know," she choked out. Dorrit pulled her into a hug, whispering something that the cameras couldn't catch. Erica, uncharacteristically subdued, handed her a tissue. Garcelle simply watched, her expression unreadable. The room was silent except for Kyle's muffled sobs. Finally, she pulled away from Dorrit, wiping her eyes furiously. "I need a minute," she whispered. And then, before anyone could stop her, she stood and walked off the stage. The cameras followed her as she disappeared behind the reunion curtain, her mix still picking up her uneven breathing. A producer hurried after her, but she waved them off, pressing herself against the wall, trying to steady her heartbeat. Back on the set, Andy exhaled heavily, running a hand through his hair. "Well, that was real." Sutton looked smug. "I mean, I wasn't expecting a full breakdown, but okay." Dorrit shot her a glare. "Have some compassion, Sutton." Erica sighed, looking at the empty spot on the couch where Kyle had been. "Poor thing," she murmured. "She's really losing it this time." "But Garcelle?" She simply nodded, as if she had expected this outcome all along. "She's been holding it in for too long," she said. "It was bound to happen." The cameras cut away. Kyle, still hidden from view, let out a shuddering breath. She knew she had to go back out there to finish what she started. But for now, she just needed a moment. A moment to grieve what she had lost. And maybe what she was about to lose. Would you like a follow-up piece about Kyle's return to the stage and the aftermath?